Hi and welcome to another Type with me. In this week's episode I'm going to talk about React.js and ES modules. So last week we saw how you could use ES modules within the browser and within Dino. And this week I'm going to take it a little bit further by applying ES modules in the browser with React.js. Are you with me? Let's go! So npm and package.json brings a lot of overhead, right? So it's very great to see how we can remove this overhead and just use ES modules. For that, we saw last week how we can do that. So within the browser, you have to have a script with type equals module and then your source, which is index.js. So index.js here, when we click on it, you will see that we just import an ES module here from Skypack, and that's immutable.js, right? So when we execute this, you will see that he will print out two values. One would be 2, right? Which is this one, and one would be 50, right? So that's nice, but now I want to see how we could change and remove immutable with React. So first thing that you need to do is go to Skypack. Within Skypack you can very easily type in React, and then of course we need to search for that, and then you'll see that we will have React. React is very popular, which is great. It's updated 1 week ago. And then when we go towards that, you will see that we can very easily import it, right? So let's do that. Let's import it. And then of course I'm gonna import and use the basic code of getting a React application up and running, right? So here we go. We have React imported as package, right? But that's not good, right? So for that I would just want to have the basic setup like when we have it within package.json, but now with our modules. So basically we first want to do something like this. We want to do something like React DOM, and of course we want to render out our HTML world. So hello world from ES modules, and then document.getElement by ID root. When I want to do that, I'm just gonna do something like, but first I need to save it, of course, and then I do something like nph serve, right? And then we can go to the browser to see how this looks like. And when we do so, we get hello world from ES modules, right? So that's great. So you will think, well, what with JSX, right? Well, that's a little problem. I will show you right away what the problem is. You can always find out another way to do so with babel.js, right? To pre-compile it a little bit, but then again you need to use npm packages. And you also need to use Babel and put a lot of setup in place, and that's not what we want to do, right? So when we go to the browser, you will see that we have an uncaught syntax error, unexpected token, which is normal, right? But no worries, somebody created ES React, which is ES module, right? And for that we can very easily use that. It's an ES6 module exposing the latest version of React, React DOM, React is, and prop types. So maybe we can take a look to that and see how it works and try to use that instead. You will see that here in the examples of ES React, he is using unpackaged.com, which is the same like Skypack, right? So don't worry about that, we're just gonna use that. It's just another one that what we saw already and what we saw last week. So we are just gonna use that. So when we go here, I can do this, right? Gonna save it. You will see that he will still give an error. And that's why it's still not correct JavaScript, right? But ES module has something like string interpolation, and that's compatible with HTML, right? For JSX compilation at runtime. So what is that? Well, it's the following theme. I will show you. It's this one. That's a very important one, right? So we're gonna copy and paste that, and then you will see that we can very easily use that. But also there, you need to see that, for example, HTML is something special. It's something from developed HTML, right? It's a very nice thing. It's hyperscript tagged markup. Something that I really love, and I already created a video about that, so when you want to know more about it, just go for that. So we are going to apply that as well. So now we have the following code. We have here HTML, right? Which will just use that HTML that we have in there. And then we need the following code. And that's this one. Here we will just import HTML, right? And then we will say that HTML needs to bind to React.createElement, and then we can use HTML of that. And then we can do just tagged strings with HTML right here. And when we now going to save it and take a look into the browser, you will see that it just works. And here we go, we have hello world from ES module, right? So when I just make it a little bit bigger, you will see, yeah, it's just working, right? But okay, that's just a very basic implementation of it, right? So what I want to do is I want to create a new module with a React component in it, and then we are going to use it right here. So now I'm just going to create something like counter.js, right? And in here I'm going to put something like this. We are going to put here counter component, and when he has just a number right here, and we can decrement or increment that number, right? It's a very basic component, but it will just show you how to use a very basic component right here. So here I'm just going to do something like import counter from counter. I think I just need to do something like this, counter.js, right? So here I'm gonna put a new div, right? So let's create a new div. And I'm gonna save it. And then I'm going to use it right here within my div. And then of course here we have our counter equals 0. And then we're going to use that within the browser, right? So let's see how this looks like in the browser. Right, so here we have our components. We have here 0. And when we do increment right here, you'll see that we can just increment it and we can decrement it. So it's very awesome. We can very easily use multiple components like that. It's very easy to set up and to use with ES modules, right? So if you are eager to create your own React application without NPM, without webpack, without any pre-compilation kind of step, well, just try to use ES React. You still need to know that he is very much reliable upon tagged templates, right? He is not doing pre-compilation there, so maybe it does a little bit of overhead as well, but yeah, it's just what you prefer. I had a lot of fun to create this, to explore this, to see what's possible with it. I'm really excited about ES modules. I think a lot of things will be possible with that, and will be more dynamic with that. Go away with complex configuration and just using modules with import, right? So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, that you learned a little bit about it, that you are eager to explore ES React like I did right now. And see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye.